Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we continue our journey through American history by exploring the 21st through 30th presidents of the United States, a transformative era stretching from Chester A. Arthur to Calvin Coolidge. This period saw America shift from post-Civil War recovery into rapid industrial growth, global influence, and modern reform. These presidents faced corruption, economic change, war, reform, and the challenge of defining what leadership should look like in a growing nation. Through their decisions and principles, they left lessons about service, reform, restraint, courage, and responsibility. Let's begin. Chester A. Arthur, Leadership Through Reform, 21st President, 1881 to 1885. Chester A. Arthur entered the presidency unexpectedly after the assassination of James A. Garfield. Many doubted his integrity, yet Arthur surprised the nation by becoming a champion of reform. He believed leadership was service, once stating that he was first a servant of the people. Arthur led the push for civil service reform, proving that leaders can rise above expectations and personal history. His presidency teaches us that true leadership is revealed not by how power is gained, but by how it is used. Grover Cleveland, Integrity Above Politics, 22nd and 24th President, 1885 to 1889. 1893 to 1897. Grover Cleveland remains the only president to serve two non-consecutive terms. Known for his honesty and independence, Cleveland believed deeply in limited government and personal responsibility. He vetoed legislation, even popular bills, when he believed they violated constitutional principles. Cleveland reminds us that leadership requires moral courage, even when standing alone. His legacy teaches that doing what is right matters more than doing what is popular. Benjamin Harrison, Expanding the Nation's Role, 23rd President, 1889 to 1893. Benjamin Harrison presided over a rapidly industrializing America. His leadership expanded the role of the federal government, strengthening the Navy, supporting veterans, and protecting public lands. He also signed the Sherman Antitrust Act, signaling that government had a responsibility to curb excessive corporate power. Harrison's presidency teaches us that leadership must evolve as a nation grows and its challenges change. William McKinley, Calm Leadership in Crisis, 25th President, 1897 to 1901. William McKinley guided the nation through economic recovery and the Spanish-American War. Under his leadership, the United States emerged as a global power. McKinley believed in unity, consensus, and steady decision-making. His calm demeanor showed that leadership does not always need forceful words. Sometimes it requires patience and balance. His presidency reminds us that measured leadership can guide a nation through moments of profound change. Theodore Roosevelt, Energy in Action, 26th President, 1901 to 1909. Few presidents reshaped the office like Theodore Roosevelt. Bursting with energy, Roosevelt believed the presidency should be a powerful force for justice and reform. He took on monopolies, protected natural resources, and expanded America's global influence. Roosevelt believed that leadership demanded action, famously advocating strength paired with responsibility. His legacy teaches that leaders must be bold, engaged, and unafraid to confront injustice. William Howard Taft, Law, Order, and Balance, 27th President, 1909 to 1913. William Howard Taft followed Roosevelt but governed very differently. A man of law, Taft believed deeply in constitutional limits and legal process. Though less charismatic, he pursued antitrust enforcement and valued stability over spectacle. Taft later became Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, fulfilling his lifelong dream. His leadership reminds us that quiet dedication and respect for institutions are powerful forms of service. Woodrow Wilson, Idealism and Global Vision, 28th President, 1913 to 1921. Woodrow Wilson led the nation through World War I and envisioned a world shaped by cooperation rather than conflict. At home, he expanded federal reform. Abroad, he championed democratic ideals. Though his vision of the League of Nations was never fully realized, his ideas reshaped global diplomacy. Wilson teaches us that leadership requires vision, even when that vision is ahead of its time. Warren G. Harding, The Cost of Complacency, 29th President, 1921 to 1923. Warren G. Harding promised Americans a return to normalcy after years of war and reform. While personally likable, his presidency was damaged by corruption scandals within his administration. Harding's era reminds us that leadership is not only about intention, but oversight. His presidency teaches a difficult lesson. Leaders are responsible not only for their actions, but for those they empower. Calvin Coolidge, Restraint and Stability, 30th President, 1923 to 1929. Calvin Coolidge believed that the best government governed least. Known as Silent Cal, he valued restraint, discipline, and fiscal responsibility. Presiding over economic growth and national stability, Coolidge restored public confidence after scandal. His leadership reminds us that sometimes the strongest leadership is knowing when not to act. The legacy of the 21st 30th presidents. Together, these presidents chart America's transition into the modern age. Arthur teaches reform, Cleveland integrity, Harrison expansion, McKinley calm leadership, Roosevelt bold action, Taft institutional respect, Wilson idealism, Harding accountability, and Coolidge restraint. Their stories remind us that leadership takes many forms, but always demands character, responsibility, and service. Thank you for joining me on this journey through American history. If you found value in this recap, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.